Assalamu alaikum. This is Shahana Wahid and today we will learn how to measure the blood pressure. Blood pressure is measured in millimeters of mercury, that is mm of Hg. It basically comprises of two numbers. If we suppose that example of blood pressure is 130/80, then the first number 130 is your systolic blood pressure, which is the maximum blood pressure your blood attains as your heart beats, and it pushes the blood around your body. Second, the lowest number is the diastolic pressure, which is a minimum level of a blood pressure that reaches between the heartbeats. Although initially mercury sphygmomanometer is widely regarded as the main standard for measuring the blood pressure, but after the invention of certain devices, now the use of mercury devices is diminished, and now most commonly aneroid types of blood pressure and hybrid type of blood pressure commonly using in hospitals. These are basically non-mercury devices, and preferably they can easily use in the clinic and hospital settings. These devices are easily available and they have reduced number of the sources of error. Practical handling of these devices are very easy. What is the basic technique of blood pressure measurement? Basic technique of the blood pressure measurement is the localization of the point where the blood pressure can easily be measured. And the main standard location for measuring is the blood pressure is the brachial artery located in the arm, and it monitors the blood pressure by means of the wrist and fingers. The basic techniques involve the oscillatory method, in which we hear the sound of the pressure under by the use of certain devices like mercury devices, aneroid manometers, hybrid sphygmomanometers. Among them, mercury devices are now not used and they are diminished from the market, while aneroid types of manometer are basically easy to handle. However, they are less accurate and often need frequent calibration. Newer devices known as hybrid sphygmomanometers are now more commonly used, and they are basically the replacement of the mercurical devices. These devices combine the features of both electronic and oscillatory devices. That is, the mercury column is replaced by the electronic pressure gauge, which is similar to the aneroid devices, and the blood pressure is taken in the same manner as mercury or aneroid devices by observer. What are the parts of the normal sphygmomanometer? Usually it comprises of a column, which may be of a mercury column or a aneroid column. It may comprises of graduated tube, the armlet, which will rotate around the arm to measure the blood pressure, and air pump, which increases the pressure on the arm through the armlet, and the stethoscope to listen the cardiac cough sounds. It is the example of the type sphygmomanometer, in which there is a column showing the pressure point. Second type is the aneroid sphygmomanometer. It is the most common device which is used in hospital and clinics, and this one is the hybrid one, and it shows the blood pressure automatically after measuring it the blood pressure electronically. What we will do in our lab, and how we will measure the blood pressure using the aneroid type of sphygmomanometer. As we have studied the principle of the measuring the blood pressure, that we will select a single artery of sufficient length either in the arm or either in the thigh. However, in the current experiment, we will use the arm or the brachial artery. First of all, we should stop the blood flow in the artery, and it is done by compressing the artery by means of inflating the rubber bag, which is connected to a manometer. Means के initially we have to stop the blood flow, कि कोई blood जो है वो आर्मलेट में से पास ना हो, इतना प्रेशर हम अप्लाई करें कि blood जो है वो स्टॉप हो जाए. After that, the pressure is then released gradually and the blood flow by the obstructive segment of the artery is studied by the palpatory method or oscillatory method or osculatory method. And we have mainly three methods. One is the palpatory method, in which we feel the pulse. Another is the oscillatory method, which is observed by the oscillation of the mercury column. And third is the osculatory method, in which we are listening the sounds produced in that part of the artery which lies just below the obstructive segments. हम जो अपनी लैब में करेंगे वो है हमारे पास osculatory method. Initially we will explain the procedure to the patient, and the patient should be calm and relaxed, and it should be seated at least for 3 to 5 minutes prior to the blood pressure measurement to maintain its normal pulse, कि वो normal उसकी जो breathing है, normal heartbeat है, वो normal हो जाए. After that, we should collect or gather the equipment needed through the lab attendant, and it is basically stethoscope, sphygmomanometer, etc. Then expose the arm and make sure it is compatibility supported at the same level as the heart. The arm should be exposed, and the level of the arm should be as that of the heart. The upper arm should not be constructed by tight clothing. There will be no clothing, क्योंकि आप initially अब करेंगे तो it will be easier कि आप उसकी artery को locate करें, उसको palpitate करें, and then after the localization of the artery, brachial artery, then हम उसके बाद उसके arm पे हम cuff जो है वो tie करेंगे. You can see in the picture that after the pulsation observation from the radial artery, then a location is there which is called as antecubital fossa. इसके against इसके upper side पे we will locate, we will feel the pulse of the brachial artery, and then we place the armlet around the arm by localization of the brachial pulse. पहले हम brachial pulse observe करेंगे, and then after that फिर हम pressure apply करेंगे. After the application of the cuff, in the middle third of the upper arm, the brachial artery basically lies on the medial aspect of the humerus, and the artery lies in the medial aspect of the antecubital fossa. The center of the bladder should lie over the brachial artery on the medial septum of the arm in such a way कि ये हमारे पास arm में brachial artery के ऊपर हमने ये basically अपना जो उसका stethoscope है वो place करना है. What is the next step? The cloth cuff should lie at least 2.5 above the brachial artery in the antecubital fossa, and the brachial artery, cloth cuff, bladder, ulnar artery, radial artery, antecubital fossa. The cuff is basically in elastic cloth with an inflatable bladder within, and the cuff is secured with the Velcro fastening or by wrapping a tapering end around the arm and tucking it into the encircling material. यानी उसमें वो पूरा जो है वो बिल्कुल रोटेट होके टाई हो जाएगा, उसका साइज जो है वो रिड्यूस नहीं हो सकेगा, चेंज नहीं हो सकेगा. Furthermore, there is a importance of the bladder size, and depending upon the condition कि कौन सा patient है, उसकी एज क्या है, चाइल्ड है, प्रेग्नेंट वुमेन है, जेरियाट्रिक पर्सन है, उस हिसाब से जो उसका डायामीटर है कफ का वो चेंज होता रहेगा. तो प्रॉपर साइज ऑफ द ब्लैडर इज सिलेक्टेड and then it is placed on the arm. If the bladder is too short or too narrow, the BP falsely too high, and if it is too long or too wide, then BP will show falsely low. Ideally, it should encircle the arm, and it is acceptable if it encircles 80% of the arm. And if it is not doesn't fully encircle the arm, then the bladder should be placed with its midpoint direction over the brachial artery above the arm. यानी ये जरूरी नहीं कि 100% कवर करे पूरे आर्म को, however 80% जो आर्म है वो आपका कवर हो जाए, so that कि brachial artery पे complete pressure आए. These are the sizes, cuff sizes, depending upon the age of the person. अगर child है तो उनका cuff size थोड़ा सा small होगा, और जो साइज अडल्ट स्टैंडर्ड साइज है वो फिर उसके हिसाब से बढ़ता चला जाएगा, और जो ओबीस पर्सन है उसके लिए फिर हमें मैक्सिमम साइज का जो कफ है वो बीपी अपरेटस से वो सिलेक्ट करना होगा. If we talk about the parts of the apparatus, then sphygmomanometer is basically comprises of the mercury manometer or graduated tube, which is graduated in mm from 0 to 30, and each division represents 2 millimeter. And it also comprises of the armlet, which is the cuff or pneumatic bag, and its size, as we have seen, that its size varies according to different ages. Then it also comprises of a air pump, which is also called as inflation bulb. This cuff is basically inflated and deflated by means of this pump. यानी इस pump की मदद से हम जो है वो inflation cause करेंगे. And then there is a air resistant wall, जिसकी वजह से हम pressure release करेंगे और pressure जो है वो increase करेंगे. If we talk about the stethoscope, then stethoscope comprises of 3 parts, that is chest piece, which is usually consists of 2 end pieces, a flatter diaphragm and a bell. It also comprises of rubber tubing, and it is also comprises of airframe, which is mainly 2 curved metallic tube, over the end of which 2 plastic knobs are embedded that fills completely in the air. So by means of stethoscope or in oscillatory method, the carrot cough sounds are heard by using the airframe of the stethoscope. So what are carrot cough sounds? Carrot cough sounds are the sounds which are heard in the stethoscope, and these sounds is mainly produced by the brachial artery pulsation when it is placed over the brachial artery. It means कि जब हम pressure apply करेंगे and after complete cessation of blood flow from the brachial artery, we release the pressure. Then after the release of the pressure, some sounds are coming from the stethoscope, which are easily hearable in the stethoscope. तो उन sounds को हम कहेंगे कि these sounds are the carrot cough sounds. This sound it starts from the phase 1 sound, and the sound is produced by a jet of blood when it is able to crossing the previously obstructive segment of the artery. Its initial sound is just like the appearance of a tap sound. जैसे कि एक पानी का कतरा जो है कतरा कतरा टपक रहा है, टक 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 की आवाज आपको जो है वो सुनाई देगी. तो this marks the systolic blood pressure. It basically a sharp, a clear tap sound. टैप की तरह की, पानी के कतरे की तरह की एक आवाज आपको सुनाई देगी. Then in phase 2 and phase 3 sound, these are the sounds which are mainly produced by our turbulent blood flow via partially occluded artery. यानी जो हमारी जो artery थी वो partially जो occlude artery हुई थी उससे जो है blood जो है वो rush out होगा artery में. तो उसका sound जो है वो आहिस्ता 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 करके बहुत ही लाउडर हो जाएगी, जैसे कि पानी बहने की आवाज होती. तो दिस साउंड टेक्स अप अ मर्मरिंग क्वालिटी एंड द ऑस्कुलेटरी गैप मे अपीयर इन दिस फेज. स्लाइटली आफ्टर दैट द साउंड बिकम मफल्ड, यानी आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो डिसअपियर होना शुरू हो जाएगी. एंड इन फेज 4 to 5 all sounds are disappear, and the disappearance of the sound is basically the marking of the diastolic pressure. It means now the pressure of the blood retain to the normal, के उसमें जो है वो blood flow continue हो सके. If we observe the changes occurring distal to the sphygmomanometer cuff during deflation, this picture represents the sounds in which upper trace is basically the carrot cough sound, and the second trace shows the cuff pressure, while the third trace basically responsible for the oscillation in the cuff pressure. The maximum oscillation occurs at the pressure of 108 millimeter of Hg, and the mean, which is the mean arterial blood pressure. Bottom trace is basically the radial pulse, which is about of 5 seconds. What are the technical issues with the measurement of the blood pressure from the arm? And the most important point is that the effect of posture is there, and in different posture there is a variation in the blood pressure. There is a systematic age-related discrepancy of the diastolic pressure in a condition in which the person is sitting in a supine or in a seated position. and about 10 millimeter of blood pressure will be higher in supine reading, and in case of when the age progress further, then the difference is only up to the 2 millimeter of Hg. Furthermore, the blood pressure measurement are also influenced by the position of the arm, and there is a progressive increase in the pressure of about 5 to 6 millimeter Hg as the arm is moved from the horizontal to the vertical position. It means कि vertical positions में जो है वो blood pressure ज़्यादा observe होगा. These changes are exactly what would be expected from the change of the hydrostatic pressure. It is also important that the patient's back to be supported during the measurement. If the patient is sitting bolt upright, the diastolic pressure may be up for up to the 6.5 millimeter of Hg as compared if the patient is sitting on its back. Another method to measure the blood pressure is the palpatory method, and in this method basically the diastolic and systolic blood pressure are recorded by the palpation of the radial artery pulsation. All steps of the procedure are same, with the differences that when releasing the pressure in the cuff, it should be very gradual, and first note the first pulsation of the radial artery and then take the reading from the dial. This records the systolic blood pressure. So initially first the radial pulse is felt. While feeling the pulse, the pressure is increased by the cuff by inflating air into it with the help of a handcuff, and when the radial pulse disappears, the pressure is further increased by about 20 millimeter of Hg. Then the pressure in the cuff is slowly reduced by releasing the valve of the hand pump. Pulse is noted when the pulse reappears, and this is indicative of the systolic blood pressure. However, the problem in this case is the difficulty in the measuring of the diastolic blood pressure. However, the diastolic blood pressure is recorded when the radial pulse become more voluminous but less throbbing, but it shows inaccuracy as well. So we can say that the oscillatory method of the blood pressure recording is usually 10 to 15 millimeter of Hg higher than by the palpatory method, and palpatory method is not the accurate one. Here you can see how we can measure the blood by the palpatory method, and you can observe that by using the handcuff we can feel the pulse, and after feeling the pulse we relate it the blood pressure. During the measurement of the blood pressure, some precautions should be considered, that the cuff tied around the arm should not be too tight, and do not leave the cuff inflated for an area for more than 2 minutes. 2 minutes से ज़्यादा हम जो है वो जो cuff है उसको flated form में नहीं रखेंगे. Furthermore, the change in the sound should be recorded carefully. So in Google Class, I have uploaded the blood pressure sound as well. So clearly hear the sound before the start of the experiment. If we summarize the procedure again, then we should palpitate the brachial artery in the cubital fossa and the radial artery over the wrist. After this, we should inflate the cuff by means of air pump and simultaneously palpitate the radial artery pulsation. Keep on inflating the cuff until the radial pulse disappear. रेडियल पल्स आपकी जो है वो डिसअपेयर हो जाएगी, यानी रेडियल और ब्रेकियल आर्टरी की एसोसिएशन से आपने ब्लड प्रेशर जो है वो मेजर करना है. आफ्टर द डिसअपेयरेंस ऑफ द रेडियल पल्स, we place the stethoscope lightly over the cubital fossa at the point of brachial artery pulsation, and then release the pressure immediately and gradually until the first sound, which is a clear, sharp, faint tap water sound, is heard in the stethoscope. Note the reading. This is called as the systolic blood pressure, and then continue to lower the pressure in the cuff until finally the sound disappears. After the disappearance of the sound, this point is considered as the diastolic pressure. The sounds may vary in intensity, and these sounds are basically called as Korotkov sound. Okay, I think it is very clear now. It is complete. Thank you.